Hello everyone, welcome to Day One Dev channel. Today I'm going to talk about how to integrate GitLab using OIDC with a JFrog Artifactory. All right, so let's get on the code first, and then I'll go you action items, what I'm going to talk about in JFrog Artifactory. So if you see here, I have a standard GitLab integration pipelines. I'm using JFrog, where you can embed your JFrog CLI information here. Then I have a stage here, which based on defined here. Then I have a project name, all the stuff, the artifactory where I'm going to write. So once I do this, this is a critical code where you're going to talk about or the integration of your uh, OIDC integration. So we'll go over there how you're going to do all the stuff, right? And then you can see here, I'm getting an access token and I'm printing an access token. You can see all the stuff. And then I have a Java version because I'm using an image of a Maven using Amazon JDK. Then I just print out and I configure my JFrog CLI with an received access token. Then I'm going to show you here printing my entire JFrog config information. And I'll configure the MVNC global. All right, just this is a high level we're going to talk about in pipeline, which already might be experienced on how to do this. Okay, now coming back to our Artifactory, how you need to set it up. Log into your JFrog Artifactory, go to the administration, then you should see here in general management, then you should see a manage integrations. Once you see an manage integrations, click on it. If it is not created, create a new one. This is a provider name. Just make sure that what are the name you need it. But generally, I do suggest put something in GitLab because I do also use this kind of integrations for my GitHub actions. And use a generic OIDC, OpenIDC connect here. But JFrog comes with a default direct partnered integrations like GitHub and Azure. And the third option is a generic OpenIDC. So pick that option and provide your URL, which is a GitLab URL. You're going to provide it. Then create your project based. So I'll show you this one thing you need to capture that. Create your project name, and it doesn't matter priority. It's always a pick a priority one. And my issuer claim JSON. Oops. My claim JSON is in a GitLab, and I'm token scope. I'm mapping it to a user login. So it's technically this has been assigned to only user within my project. Or if you want to use some other scope, feel free. There are a lot of scopes can be attached here, and click on it, and you can do it. And finally, just make sure that the expiration duration, what you need it. So maybe I'll put myself here, as maybe less 3 minutes. So let's see, it's going to be, and I'm saving here. All right. So now let's go back to our pipeline. Just I'll use a small command so that way it's why I'm opening an enter. Okay. Oh, this pipeline is publicly available, so you can see that if you need anything on this part. Okay, I'll just add some comment. I'll not use anything. Maybe I'll include JFrog CLI switch the version. Oh. Okay. I'm not going to do anything. Just commit some changes. We are doing it in OIDC. OIDC integration test. Just I'm committed. Okay. So now they should create a job. Let's go to our jobs here. It's already previously tested out and passed. Now it should be in running state. All right. So if you see here running state, this will refresh pretty quick. And then we can, I'll go over entire walkthrough of this page also. So let's, I hope you can see my screen. It's been getting recorded, but let's give a minute. It should be done. All this stuff. Okay, as I stated before, I'm using an Amazon, and the step what it's doing right now, because I have a base image, it's installing this, including this configuration file, which is I'm using for a Unix one. If you are specific to a Windows, replace this with an JFrog Windows. That too, right now it's supported. Right now, okay, this job is run. I hope we can see this. Now let's see our, uh, let's get complete run so we can go over all the stuff. All right. So you can see here, we did Git modules has been got it, and Docker image has been pulled, which is an Amazon, the certain version I'm using because I need a JDK 17 to run a Spring Boot public project. Then I'm doing an update of my base image. Then I'm installing a JQ because if I'm running any access token queries, I need exact certain parameters. It's optional, these are. So maybe I can go over here. These are the commands I'm talking about. Right, then installing a curl and this one. So keeping this aside, now I'll fast forward this because all these are installation going on. So all this installation is done. Now let's come to our access token. You can see here, this made a query to the system, which is a masked here, my GitLab one, whatever I'm using it, it's masked here, that's good. And I got response back and expires in 180 seconds. We configured in JFrog as an 3 minutes, I hope you remembered. Hope you remembered this one. 3 minutes we did it. Yeah, 3 minutes we did this configuration, and I got a 180 seconds. Now I can see here this access token. Now I'm configuring this access token, and it has a username, and I'm extracting all the stuff, my access token here, and I'm setting that. I'll go back to the script. You can see here I'm setting up here. Then I'm printing my JFrog URL, Java version, Maven version, and JFrog CLI. So we're going to do that same thing. I configured here certain things. Then it should be here. You can see this. What is it? There you go. JFrog URL and Java version. It's been OpenJDK, and I'm using a Maven version here. It has an Apache 399, and have a settings here. Maven path and JFrog version. I'm using in 2.73.2, and also configuring it. So now the big part is, if I go back to code here, I'm setting in a JFrog CLI with the URL and access token, which I got it from OIDC. Then after that, I'm going to show that configuration. Then I'm going to ping this artifact tree based on this token. And I'm just configuring my MVNC config to keep it simple. All right, so you can see here, as we discussed, I'm configured my JFrog CLI, then URL and access token. Then I'm doing in JFrog config so JFrog CLI config show. And this information is put in place. You can see here, it has my token and all that defaults. Now, after that, I did a ping here, and you should see I got an OK back, right? Then now beside that, I'm setting up some information which is for my purely for this one. And here, this one, I'm talking about using a Maven config. If you're using a JFrog CLI, then that's it. My job is done here. All right. I hope you just seen this video, and I hope you liked it. And I'm just keeping this as an backup for my demos. And happy watching Day One Dev, and please subscribe.